What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It is the 20th day of May, and here we are sitting at about $77,500 with roughly 11 hours and 16 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, so the formation that we might be forming here, looking at this on the daily time frame, it is completely possible that we're forming some type of slanted head and shoulders pattern. This could be a slanted version of a head and shoulders pattern. And for the past few days now, I've been saying that we're expecting a move up to about 79K. We were at higher prices here, and I did say we might go a little bit lower first. We could still go lower. It is possible. Maybe we go a little bit lower. We hit this low here. If we were to do that, this slanted head and shoulders could very well just turn into a regular head and shoulders, a very symmetrical head and shoulders pattern, which they typically are. But Bitcoin's quite fond of symmetrical or slanted patterns as well. At any rate, head and shoulders, not a head and shoulders, whatever the case may be, I do think we're moving up here. But the call for the past few days has been that we go to around $79,000, just below, just above, somewhere around $79,000. We find resistance here in this area, or maybe even just below that area. However, with this low being here, it is quite possible, again, that we see that slanted pattern. We could be rounding off this top a little bit more and getting ready to drop as we go into the beginning of June rather than the end of May. End of May might result in a little bit of a pump, or we pump going into it, and then the very last days we start to drop back down. I don't know how it's going to look, but from here, I do assume that we're going to move up a little bit higher. I'm checking my timeline on X, and I'm seeing all types of bullish posts today. We're not even up a full percent on this day. People have been, quiet the past few days, or in denial to say the least, but we move up a little bit. We get one little green day, and then everybody's just going crazy. At least that's what it seems. Some large accounts are talking just as bullishly here as they were up here. Maybe we do continue to push higher, but I don't know, man. Let's look at this real quick before we get into the short term stuff. I want to talk about why I really don't believe we're going to move higher, and this is not the only reason why, but I think it helps paint a picture a little bit. So let's go over it. And then first and foremost, actually, we had 5 red days in a row. Today's green. We were talking about that yesterday too, how this might be a green day today because we don't typically see more than 5 red days. All right, so just look at how the price action's behaving, okay? When we were in a bull market, look at how robust these movements were. Look at how robust they were. People are saying we're in a bull market now, but we're not. And you might answer that by saying, well, we're at the beginning of the bull market, so okay, so that's fair. Let's go to the beginning of the last bull market, right? You're in this consolidation phase. You're in this consolidation phase here. I mean, this move was a lot more robust than this move has been. It's a lot more robust. This move here was a lot more robust than this move was, right? We broke out of this consolidation range. Look at how phenomenal that was. We broke out of this consolidation range here, right? This is your consolidation range. Look at how phenomenal that was. We broke out of this, really, and we haven't had a phenomenal pump. It doesn't make sense. Even to the downside, whenever you break out of a range, you see this. That's why I'm thinking this isn't a bull run. We're not in a bull market. The bear market's not over. We're just in one giant consolidation phase, just like we were here. And I expect similar results, but to the downside. On the bright side, being in a consolidation phase this high, when we break out, that will greatly diminish the potential for exceptionally lower lows. I still think that we see lower lows, but imagine that we do. That's a big move down. I mean, imagine we get to lower lows. We could get just below 60K, and that move is nearly as big as the last move. I mean, we can't even get, if we get below 50K, that move would be larger than the last move or this move. I don't think that that's what's going to happen, but I do think that we have lower to go. Anyways, getting distracted. Look at the beginning of this bull market when we broke out of this consolidation range. Look at how phenomenal that was. Or maybe we should go to the last bull cycle when we broke out of this consolidation. I mean, even here, this movement here, these movements here are much more robust than what we're seeing. But when we broke out of our consolidation range, look at the movement, okay? Look at those, and then look back and see what we're doing now. It's not the same. It's not the same. In fact, this is much more comparable to what we see in bear market consolidation phases, if anything. Beyond all of that, as we're moving higher, volume is depleting. That's not good. That's not good, man. That's not what you want to see. So I do believe there's a reckoning coming. I do believe that we will see prices that are lower than this low here. I do believe that this is the high. If I'm wrong, then we will only be slightly wrong. We'll probably see a slightly higher high, something around 83 to 85K, and then from there begin to dump. I do believe that we'll continue to round off this top, whether it's a slightly higher high that promotes this rounding off, whether it's a slightly lower high that promotes this rounding off. We'll continue to round off, and as time goes on, we should start to see prices going lower. I do believe that August, September, maybe July will be the bottom of the bear market. Being that it's May, it doesn't really make sense to start breaking down just yet. So a little bit of meandering here and there. We're probably going to do our thing, and then as June, July really starts to come into view, that'll be when we pick up the pace. Going into August, that's where I expect to find our low. And that low, if I'm correct, should be somewhere around 55K or lower. That's my expectation. Let's say 58K or lower. But I mean, we take this here from a low to a high. The technical target would be $55,000 to about $49,000. I don't think that we get below 50K, but if we do, it might be a really wicked wick. Then we close back up here. My assumption is we will find support somewhere in this area, or we'll see some type of a fake out low, something like that. I did not mean to go over the long-term stuff like that, but that's just, I guess that was on my mind. Let's get into the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out from there. Okay, so right now, looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that Bitcoin is breaking out, relatively speaking, on the 1 hour. You have had a rather aggressive move down. And just look at this too, man. I mean, throughout all of this movement here, have you had as aggressive of a move up as you've had down? This was very persistent. It's pretty. There you go. That's actually pretty aggressive. There we go. It's been a second. You know, you had a little bit of aggressiveness to the bullish side, and each time you did it, you know, you saw a slightly higher high, slightly higher high. Here, though, this is a significantly lower low than what we had here. It's a lot more aggressive to the downside, I would say. But still, I guess that's somewhat comparable for moments at a time there, right? That's pretty bullish relative to the 1 hour time frame. But here, moving down, the tides have turned. The bears are seeming to take control. Relatively speaking, we haven't seen a whole lot of bullish dominance the way that we're seeing this bearish dominance now. And as we move down in this rather aggressive move from a lower low to a lower high standpoint, it seems as though we're kind of moving sideways here and out of this overall range. Yes, this moved out as well. Maybe we're seeing a move just like that here, but overall, kind of more or less, we've been in this channel and we're breaking out of that now. There's a little bit of volume coming in to back it up, which is nice to see. 77.5K right now. If we look at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI is taking on a bit of a bullish structure. You had this lower high area here, higher low area here, and you've broken out of that. I would assume that you get overbought before you turn around. Personally, that's my assumption. We don't have to get overbought. It looks like we're struggling right now, but I do think that we'll get overbought, and that should promote another leg up. We should see another leg up here. Yesterday, I was talking about this as a diamond bottom pattern right here, something like this, if I remember correctly. And diamond bottoms, sometimes they give that appearance early on, but then they continue to form. Maybe it's not a diamond bottom, maybe it's a symmetrical triangle, but this also does kind of look like a diamond pattern as well. It's just like tilted sideways. That does happen. Diamonds are ugly. If you're looking at that and you're like, that's not a diamond, what the hell is that? That's actually how you know it's a diamond. Diamonds are pretty ugly patterns. And they're known to break out with high velocity. So if things go the way that they should go, we should continue to move up here in the very near term. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, that checks out. Stochastics, that checks out. The MACD crossing back above the zero is bullish. The one thing that I'm a little bit concerned with is how much green we've really seen recently. We haven't really done much with all that green. We haven't done much with it at all. This is like the most positive effect that we've seen. And I would think that our bullish reign of terror is probably coming to an end at some point, but maybe not here, maybe a little bit higher. Again, that 79K area at least is what I would expect to see. We look at this on the 4 hour time frame. Hold on, guys. Oh man. Oh man, I'm sick, y'all. Oh, it's no fun. Anywho, let's see. 4 hour time frame. The RSI is breaking out. This is actually a very bullish kind of perspective here. Lower lows, lower highs. This looks really good. The fact that you got above the 50 at least clears you to the 60, so that does mean a little bit higher. If not the overbought zone itself. We could be moving all the way up there. Now, depending on how we do this, if we just move straight up there, that would actually be more bearish. It would be more bullish to form some type of uptrend methodical like this, and then, you know, work our way up to the overbought zone, getting some type of uptrend. Just like it was more bearish here to see this downtrend. We look at this for reference. Much more bearish here than it would have been if we just broke out to the downside, right? You broke out to the downside, you got it done with very quickly, and that gave you enough room to continue to rally to the upside. Just as an example there. The stochastics do look bullish. Getting overbought is nice. The MACD is turning a tide a little bit. It looks good. Perhaps this MACD continues to grow until we get to the zero, or until we get to like a lower high here in this area. Either way, all of these indicators, in my opinion, suggest that we do continue growing a little bit more. A little bit more. 78K now. A little bit more could mean 79,000. A little bit more could mean 81,000, 80,000, somewhere in that range. But we'll just have to take it as it goes. Right now, I'm sticking with the that 79K area and maybe just above there. I'm sticking with that as a possible target, but we'll see. We will see. Everybody's going to be freaking out because we're going to be breaking out of this here, right? And I think we already are. Breaking out of that. It's going to look bullish, but really we're just going to form a lower high overall, and it'll still be bearish in my opinion. So, yeah. I mean, we got a lot of room to wiggle with here as far as lower highs go. Looking at this on the daily time frame. The daily RSI is at the same area that it was last time you found support, right at the 40. Perfect area to find support. We were saying this yesterday. You have found support and resistance in this area several times before. You do have lower lows here, and I think what we're doing is we're going from an upward sloping trend, higher lows, higher highs, to a sideways sloping trend, to a downward sloping trend. And in this downward sloping trend, I believe we're at the bottom. We're probably going to move up to the top, continue to meander our way down. It might not look exactly like that, but you know, something like that, perhaps. I don't know. Whatever the lower low, lower high kind of dynamic would be there. Either way, finding support at the 40 is definitely a positive sign in the short term. Stochastics are coming back out of the oversold zone. That's also positive. And the MACD, for what it's worth, I mean, you keep this up, but you don't move up too fast, you will be bouncing off the zero, which could also be a very positive thing as well. So that would look good. If you do bounce off the zero, that could promote higher highs here relative to this, but it depends on how you do it. Again, I think there's some things that are developing here that could be bullish, but it's too early to say. I'm sticking with the bearish note. I'm definitely sticking with the idea that we found resistance here and that we don't go above there. But even if I'm wrong, it'll only be momentary. It'll be a short little bit of wrong, and inevitably I do believe we will continue to see lower lows, or lower prices. Inevitably working down to lower lows. I've got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.